Hello everybody, my name is Eric D. Johnson, also known as BrightShine. I live right here in the city of Memphis, state of Tennessee, which is in the county ship. And today's date is early Sunday morning, October the 4th, 2015, the time 2:35 a.m. Thank you to all my fans, my support for all your continued encouragement and support. And I'll continue to keep myself employed right here in the city of Memphis, right here in this area. At Technicolor right there on East Home Road right here. Yeah, right there on East Home Road. And I'll continue to further my education at Monroe College online, pursuing my associate degree studying business administration, construction marketing. And for today's video, we're gonna continue to talk about African traditional religion. African traditional religion. And we've been talking about studying and learning Niger Congo languages, not language, but languages. There are many languages. Niger Congo. There are many Niger Congo languages. There are many Niger Congo languages, and we've been studying the Tib language. We've been studying the Tib language, and we also been studying Swahili language. We're gonna continue to study the Tib language, Swahili language, as well as other Niger Congo languages. And one of the languages we're gonna study today, not to the exclusion of Tib language or Swahili language, but what we're gonna start getting into right now is I had to refer back when we were talking about the Khoisan people and the San people. And what we have to deal with is intermarriage between the Bantu, which are Niger Congo people, and the Khoisan people and the San people. And also because of colonialism, what we're gonna have to also deal with the Khoisan people and the San people is the European intermarrying with the Khoisan people and the San people, who are referred to as colored. They are referred to as the colors. Now, they not the only ones that are referred to as color, because we have a situation where we had a Bantu, all the Bantu groups in the southern African region, not just South Africa, but what we got to understand in the southern African region, talking about like Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, and South Africa. You can include Angola and Mozambique. That's what we're referring to. And what we don't want to leave out, because according to information, is that when you say color, that also means that the white man, the European, also had sexual relation with the Bantu women. And sometime in recent years, some of the Bantu men have had sexual relations with the European woman and bore children, and they too are also referred to as colored. So that's what we're gonna deal with, the colored issue, and also the Indian, the people from India who live in the southern African region, who intermarried with either the European or the Bantu or the Khoisan or the San people. They refer to as colored. So when we deal with the language situation in the southern African region, we have to also deal with the intermarriage between the Bantu and the Khoisan people and the San people, and we have to also deal with the intermarriage of the European with the Khoisan people and the San people. and the other, the Indian and the Bantu and and the white, the European intermarrying with. Oh, I gotta make sure I'm talking to the microphone because the European intermarrying with the uh, the Bantu women and some of the Bantu men in recent years because during apartheid that was unheard of. We all know no no Bantu man, no Zulu or so on. Talking about being with a European woman. So when it comes to the issue of the European and Bantu women, that was sexual relations. So we're gonna get to this right now because we know that the core people and the sand people, those click consonants. And when we come to language, see, when we talk about the Zulu language, the Ndebele language, uh, the Soto language, the Tswana language, the Shoni language, uh, the Swazi language, Tswane and Tsonge, the Vinde, and so forth. So we okay. Now, but we have to also make sure we don't when you hear the word Nguni, 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 Nguni. They are Bantu languages that are spoken in the Southern African region. Now, now, when we deal with so when we try to learn, so when we try to learn how to speak a language, see, we have to have a historical background, the information. So we want to make sure we don't uh, leave that information out because that information is very important, and and that uh, have this. derogatory perception in your mind toward core people, saying people when it's been intermarried and have embraced the click consonants. Because when you speak the language, Bantu people already had a language, but they've adopted and embraced the core and the sand people uh, uh, forms of speaking their language. The majority of the Bantu speaking people in the Southern African region, they all speak click consonants. They all speak click consonants. Every language that you speak, the Zulu, uh, is one of the languages spelled X-H-O-S-A. Before you even say the language, before you even say the word, if it's spelled X-H-O-S-A, you have to use a click. See, and see when they write, and you know the alphabet, many of the languages are written in the Latin alphabet, but they use the click consonant in the Southern African region. Okay, okay, let me go back over here. Okay, Swazi or Swati is a Bantu language of the Nguni people. Okay, let me see. Uh, okay, let me see. Okay, T-Swazi. me see. That's T-Sange and T-Swane. The Vende language. They use Latin alphabets as well. Okay, let's see. Let's see what's it? Vende. Now, when we were talking about the colors, it said the origins of the color community stems from numerous interracial sexual unions between Western European males and Khoisan females in the Cape Colony from the 17th century onwards. Let me see. So like so as we've been studying, when we studied language, the Niger Congo languages, the Bantu languages in the uh, southern African region is in the southern African region, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Angola, Namibia, Botswana, 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 and South Africa, and other countries that are in that southern African region. The Bantu, as we just the colors, uh, come from into sexual relations between the European male and the Khoi San female, but being when you use that word color in that area of the world, it also includes the European, having sexual relations with the Bantu female, see what I'm saying, and including with the Indians from India. So when you say color, it can be a variety. But what we understand when we talk about the languages, there's a group of people that are referred to who are referred to as colors, and that's a classification in that region of the world. See, the language that they speak, that's what that means. What language? Well, being in that area, most of them speak Afrikaner or English or the traditional, like Bantu language. And so that's what we want to make sure we're gonna continue to have this talk about the Southern African languages, because when the Bantu came down, the Bantu expansion, the Khoi and the San were absorbed. See, that was the first thing that happened. It was the Bantu that came in contact with the Khoi people and the San people. That happened first. Check your history, do your historical research, and get your information, and you will see that when the Bantu were expanding and came into that area, the Southern African area, they came in contact with the Khoi people and the San people. And when they came in contact with the Khoi people and the San people, there was intermarriage. There was intermarriage. And that's the reason why when you study the languages of the Zulu, when you say Zulu, and when you talk Tswane, Shone, Vende, Swazi or Swati, and what's the other one? The language that you spell it Xosa, but when you say it, it's a click in front of it. So that's the reason why I had to spell it out. But the point is that all the languages in that area, from the Bantu people, because of intermarriage, they adopted the Khoi people language and the San people language. They became part of the language. So all the language they speak, Khoi language and San language, with the Bantu language. That way it won't be any confusion about when we study, when we continue to study Bantu, Niger Congo language, that in that area of Africa, in the southern Africa region, the Bantu, they speak the Khoi language and the San language. everyone, all the language, every language that the Bantu speak in the Southern African region, they adopted the Khoisan people language and the San people language through intermarriage. And you can also look at the features of the people. You can look at, matter of fact, you can look at Nelson Mandela. If you look at some pictures of Nelson Mandela, and you look at other Bantu people, and you look at the Bantu people in general that live in that Southern African region, you can see there's been intermarriage between the Bantu people and the Khoi people and the San people. You can see that there has been intermarriage. And also, when we were talking about the DNA, when we were talking about the DNA from the transatlantic slave trade database, and there was some mention of the DNA from newspaper, an online newspaper, theroot.com, and they were talking about DNA. Well, this is something that's being done all over Africa, not just in the Southern African region. But what I found out is that all over Africa, their DNA being collected. And the reason why it's being collected is because they're doing historical research on the different chromosomes from the male side and from the female side. And they identify different groups of people that live in this area or that area. And that's one of the things that they doing, that they finding out in that region of the world, that way you won't be confused or try to argue, is that the DNA, it shows intermarriage between the Bantu people and the Khoi people and the San people, because the DNA is so, it's not just a slight indication, but I mean, it's overwhelming evidence. You understand what I'm saying? It's like 99.9% of the evidence shows that the Bantu people and the Khoi people and the San people, they intermarry because the DNA is so strong. That's what's being shown in that area of the world, of Africa, in that Southern Africa region. Intermarriage between the Bantu people, the Khoi people, and the San people. The DNA is overwhelming. And also, when it comes to DNA, it shows that the European DNA is showing up because of intermarriage between the European male and the Khoi San female. The DNA, that's what it shows. See? But not just in that region, but all over the African continent. I found some information, and you can do your research as well. You'll find out that DNA is being collected all over the African continent. And the reason why they collected DNA is they're doing it for various reasons. But that is one of the reasons why they are collecting DNA, is that they are identifying different groups of people. And you can name all the groups of people on the continent, and they are identifying these people by their DNA, not just by their language or their skin complexion or skin tone, or their physical features, not just their physical features, whether they're male or female, or how tall or how short, not just the physical features, but your DNA. People are being identified by their DNA, and they're being classified by their DNA. on the African continent. So, you know, but okay, I see. I was looking at the time, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna uh, conclude today's uh, video, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna continue our discussion on the Bantu language in the Southern African region, the click consonant, and the intermarriage between the Bantu people who are Niger Congo. Bantu people are Niger Congo, the Nguni, Nguni, Nguni people are Bantu people, and the Bantu people are classified as Niger Congo people. So we're going to continue our study of the intermarriage between the Bantu people and the Khoi people and the San people and their language and the language of between the intermarriage of the Bantu people, the Khoi people, and the Khoi San people. Because we know the Khoi people are classified as a group of people, and the San people. That's another thing that when you do research, you do find that the Khoi people and the San people were really before the expansion of the Bantu, because when the Bantu expanded, that's what they came in contact with. They came in contact not with the Khoi San people, they came in contact with the Khoi people, and they came in contact with the San people. Then when the Khoi people and the San people come in contact with each other, what about that? What is that? So we're gonna continue this discussion on our next video. And uh, I forgot to say Habari at the beginning, but at the conclusion of this video, I will say Kwahiri. And we're gonna continue to work on my tips too, because that's unacceptable. So take care of yourself. Wish each and every one of you the very best.